Hello and welcome to Brands Hatch for the season opener of the BRSCC Mazda MX-5 Championship. This season we see 48 competitors taking part in the championship, but around this short Indy circuit at Brands Hatch it's going to be close. So I'll hand you over to our race commentator for race one.
Thank you, Anthony. 2018 for the BRSCC Mazda MX-5 Championship kicks off here with Sam Smith and Will Blackwell-Chambers on the front row from Brian Trott and Stuart Simmons. Oliver Allwood and Teddy Clark on the third row from John Langridge and Marcus Bailey, with Charlie Burge and Martin Tolley rounding out the top 10. Adam Craig and Paul Bateman are on the sixth row. Mike Coomber and Jason Gretrix row 7. Stephen Foden and Sebastian Fisher are on row 8. Michael Fisk and Oliver Robinson, Clive Poles and Stephen Foden round out the top 20. Then it's Simon Orange, William Hayden, Lewis Cannon and Bill Taylor. In this magnificent action-packed field in Group A, anybody could take the victory here at Brands Hatch on the Indy circuit. Lights are out, let's race at Brands Hatch. Cracking start from Will Blackwell-Chambers, is already trying to get the jump on Sam Smith, and it's a terrible start for Stuart Simmons, who's going backwards down the order. Not the greatest of getaways, but it looks as though Sam Smith is going to hold his nerve on the inside line, with Brian Trott through in the third position behind Will Blackwell-Chambers. They dive up the hill, up towards Druids for the first time, and it is cracking action from the get-go here as they go through Druids for the first time. Is there any carnage? No, everybody keeping it nice and tidy through the first couple of corners for the first time, and as they go down the hill towards Graham Hill Bend, there is Stuart Simons having a battle in the mix there, having lost a lot of time. Jason Gretrix has made a terrific getaway, by the way. That's Teddy Clark in the 10 in front of Simmons, but what a start from Jason Gretrix in the 33, who has leapt forward. Here are our leaders: Sam Smith, Will Blackwell-Chambers and Brian Trott, 1, 2 and 3, and then in fourth position that looked to me like Oliver Allwood as we go 3 wide through Clark and Clearways. I've never seen that before. Goodness me, Teddy Clark having to hold off a very feisty Stuart Simmons, and I'm not too sure who that was in with him, but look, Will Blackwell-Chambers is having a go for the lead already, having to keep Brian Trott at bay as they go through. Oliver Robinson in there, Oliver Allwood I should say, sorry, in the 63 there in fourth position. Oliver Robinson is in this race, by the way. He's in the 19, a little further down the order. But here comes Allwood in the 63. Several times on the podium last year, Oliver Allwood. He'll want to get back there right in the first race of the season, but the reigning champion, Will Blackwell-Chambers, has got a bit of a mission on his hands to overhaul Sam Smith from the word go. And as they go down the straight towards Surtees, it is a 4-car disappearing act, although it might become 5 because they have got one more with them, of course. Now I wonder, is that John Langridge in the 5 who is there in with them as they battle the way through? No, Langridge is still there. Just trying to see who that is that's joined the pack. These some of the cars have got different colour schemes compared to last year. Well, Allwood is going for third position on the inside of Brian Trott, tucking up for a battle to come through on the inside. It is Martin Tolley in the 5th place car. Tolley trying to dive through on the inside. Not going to happen yet as Will Blackwell-Chambers continues to hustle Sam Smith in the lead of this race. But it's Smith, Blackwell-Chambers, Allwood, Trott, and now that is Martin Tolley, who comes up from 10th position on the starting grid to be in that position. That is the 5 of John Langridge. That's where he is. I got a little bit confused between him and Tolley because from a distance their cars are quite similar in appearance. But once you focus in, you can definitely see Martin Tolley, who has a rather nice lady on the side of his car. Will Blackwell-Chambers up the hill towards the way into Clark, and he's got the door open on Sam Smith. Surely he'll get away through on the inside. Smith will carry the speed though as they come onto Clearways and keep that door shut. Brilliant work there from Sam Smith. You really can use the dynamic grip of these Mark 1 Mazda MX-5s down the straight. And here comes Oliver Allwood having a look for third, having a look for second position even. Will Blackwell-Chambers holding to the inside. Brian Trott there in fourth position, trying to get his move as well as they go off of Paddock Hill Bend once more. Fifth position pursued by Martin Tolley, and that's a big run wide. Goodness me, that was close for the hard charging man in sixth position. That is Jason Gretrix, and charging through, Simmons has come his way back through as well in front of Charlie Burge, and then we've got Teddy Clark battling away with John Langridge. So great racing all around, and a good recovery this is from Stuart Simmons as he runs in there behind the fast starting Jason Gretrix in the 33 car. But the Club 100 machine, number 88, looking good there for Stuart Simmons, obviously very much into his karting, carrying the Club 100 colours as he comes up through Surtees and McLaren and up towards Clark. In through the right-hander, this goes on and on forever. You've got to be so patient on the throttle. We drop back to look at this exciting battle behind Langridge as we've got 2 more joining the queue. It's getting very feisty in the Mazda MX-5s. When doesn't it? Over the line once again. Greatrex, Simmons, and that is the 94 of Charlie Burge joining the battle as well as they go into Paddock Hill Bend. They hang right out to the left, chuck the car in. You don't drop a gear, you keep it in fourth as you plummet down that hill, back on the power, up the hill. Great battles all the way through. Now we've got these guys battling away for position. This is the 10 of Teddy Clark in with John Langridge. The 29 of Adam Craig is in the back of this pack, having moved his way forward past the 158 of Mike Comber. So a good battle between these four, as we've now got Clark, Langridge, Craig and Comber as they battle away. Adam Craig is looking pretty feisty on the back of the number 5 of John Langridge. Langridge is going to have to step up his attack of Teddy Clark. Otherwise, he's going to let the way through for Adam Craig to come by. Very talented young racer is Adam Craig, the 29, as he continues to charge his way forward. Up on the inside line, can he make the move? John Langridge on Teddy Clark. Clark drifts out wide. That should be enough to get him through. Yes, it is. Langridge through, out of Druids and down the drop to Graham Hill Bend. And Adam Craig is trying to get the same overtaking move done on Teddy Clark. But Clark is not going to let him get through as they come onto the short stretch towards Surtees once again. This is going full guns blazing for Teddy Clark as he hangs on in front of Adam Craig. John Langridge is slowly starting to get away. So obviously the cooler conditions, Teddy Clark proving he was fast in one lap to get himself onto the third row. But in racecraft, that's different. It's like Tom Cruise in Days of Thunder when Michael Rooker turned to him and said, let's see how you can handle yourself in a crowd. It's very different for Teddy Clark as he battles in there with John Langridge, Adam Craig and the man in behind, Mike Comber, the 158. Several drivers working their way forward, but Jason Greatrex in amongst the top 10. Back with the leaders, Sam Smith, Will Blackwell Chambers, Oliver Allwood and Brian Trott, and it is as close as that. And Martin Tolley in the 23 is not far away either in P5. They go down out of Druids into Graham Hill Bend. Smith, Blackwell Chambers, Allwood, Trott and Tolley. 5 cars all in the mix for the victory. Just another day at the office in the Mazda MX-5 Championship. Glorious to behold and incredibly close quarters, no nonsense racing. Up towards the top of the hill once again, into Clark. Blackwell Chambers looking for a gap, not able to find one at the moment. Off the turn, back on the power, down the straight, tucking in behind Sam Smith, waiting for that ultimate move. Oliver Allwood is in there right behind him as well. In fact, Allwood is a little bit closer to Blackwell Chambers until they get the slipstream. Now Will Blackwell Chambers is going to throw it up the inside of Paddock Hill Bend, and that's an easy move into the lead. No problem at all for Will Blackwell Chambers, but Sam Smith is right there on the undercut, trying to come back through on the inside. Oliver Allwood's looking threatening in there as well. He'll want to come through. Brian Trott in 4th position, still hustling to get himself on the podium, and all of this squabbling has given Martin Tolley the chance to catch them all. So it's all 5 of them in there together. Blackwell Chambers, Smith, Trott, Allwood. Allwood still there in 3rd position in front of Brian Trott. Martin Tolley in there in P5, getting ever closer. Watch out, guys. They're maybe pulling away from the rest of the field, but these guys are still battling away. Through that long, sweeping, flowing right-hander. Blackwell Chambers at the moment holds on to this lead. 2nd place still Samuel Smith. Oliver Allwood breathing down his neck, practically spitting out exhaust fumes right now. Brian Trott in 4th position. Here comes Sam Smith looking for a repeat on the move of Will Blackwell Chambers. Will he dive to the inside? No, he's giving Blackwell Chambers a little bit of a hustle as they go into Paddock Hill Bend. Down the drop once again, up the climb. 4th gear throughout. This is the back a little bit further back. And is that Adam Craig having got to the front of it? Sorry, that's Charlie Burge at the front of this queue. Langridge is in there. That's Greatrex, Simmons, Clark, Craig. Oh, and we've got an off. We've got an off. That's the 42. That's Bateman. That is Paul Bateman. What a disaster for Bateman. He's going to have to start the 2nd race of the weekend in Group B. What a disaster for Bateman. And that is up at the top of Clark. I'm not sure that's going to be a safety car, because while it is close to the circuit, I think it's enough offline that he can get out of the car and to safety. So I don't think the race is going to be neutralised. But this battle is a good one. Charlie Burge hanging on in front of John Langridge. Langridge decides he is going to go for the move on the inside, but Burge is just committing himself to the corner, throws himself left, tightens himself in on the exit, and that's a beautiful bit of defensive driving from the man in the 94, Charlie Burge. Langridge tries again. Jason Greatrex is still in there. I'm very nearly getting these two confused with the other Burge and the other Greatrex, because of course in Group B we've also got Adrian Burge, and in Group B we've got Callum Greatrex. So these guys are going to come out a little bit later to play, of course. But this is the battle with these guys. Charlie Burge in the 94 in front of John Langridge, the 5, and the 33 of Jason Greatrex. In there as well as Stuart Simmons in the 88. Look back, he's in there somewhere. I think Teddy Clark's got past him. Green flags are flying at that point in the circuit. Oh, Teddy Clark's lost a couple of places there as Craig has come through, and it looks as though he's going to lose another one to Mike Comber. Comber, who is Sam Smith's teammate, of course, looks as though he's going to get tight into the battle. And we've also got a bit of a challenge coming in from, now, who is that that's joined the battle? Comber tries to go up the inside and get the place on Teddy Clark in the 10-29. Adam Craig drops down the hill up towards Druids once again. Craig, that is going to be Teddy Clark hanging on in there as they battle away for position once again. That's the 8 that's joined the battle. That is Michael Fisk on the back of Mike Comber. So Comber still on the battle of Teddy Clark. Teddy Clark out of Graham Hill Bend, charging ahead from 6th on the grid. He's found that this racing in a crowd business is quite tough, but it always is in Mazda MX-5 Championship racing in the British Racing Sports Car Club. It has never been dull. I have yet to see a disappointing Mazda MX-5 Championship race, and 2018 is going to be no different. Out of they come once again to clearways and back on the main straight. Here comes the battle of cars as they come together. Adam Craig in front of that man Teddy Clark, and in behind them we've still got Mike Comber and the 8 of Michael Fisk as he has made progress too. Good run this from Fisk. Behind them we've got Door to Door. That's going to end in tears if someone doesn't back out of it. They carry on regardless. That's what we love about Mazda MX-5 Championship racing. It doesn't matter if you're racing for the victory or for 15th. You can still have an absolutely terrific race, and it will go down to the wire. Stuart Simmons still closing up on the back of the man just ahead of him as they battle away for position. But can Simmons keep this pace up? He is pushing very hard onto the back of Jason Greatrex. And as a result, that gets him closer to this little tussle between Charlie Burge and John Langridge. Out of Clark, down the drop towards clearways once again. This is going to be a magnificent, majestic tussle all the way through this race. Charlie Burge, look at him, practically nailed to that inside line. John Langridge is going to have to sweep round to the left, but Burge is going to go to the left. Here comes Greatrex. He's going to dive up the inside last possible minute. Oh, well, I tell you what, that was probably worth backing out of. You never know which way that was going to go. Back with the leaders. Will Blackwell-Chambers still in front of Sam Smith. Oliver Allwood still there in 3rd. 4th, no problem at all for Brian Trott. Martin Tolley is still there in 5th position. He's dropped back a little bit, but he is still in the game. We're not done yet, and Will Blackwell-Chambers in the MCR car is trying to stretch out in front of the rest. Very aggressive on the curbs on the exit of Clark as they come back on the clearways. He wants to make this victory his own, and he is charging away to make it happen. But Oliver Allwood is looking very racy in behind Sam Smith. Will he dive for the inside of Paddock Hill Bend? Don't go ugly early, Oliver. You know what you're doing, buddy. Absolutely brilliant stuff. It's in the last couple of laps that you really want to start making that aggro work for you. Up into the braking zone for Druids once again, and Oliver very close indeed to Sam Smith, trying to make that window open. Look, side by side, door to door. Careful, Oliver. That was very close indeed. No contact, but just about giving each other enough room. That was very close. Off the turn at Graham Hill Bend, back on the power and up towards Surtees. Throw it to the left. Little bit of curb on the inside. None at all on the right through McLaren, because you're setting yourself up for the inside line into Clark. No major challenge from Allwood yet. He doesn't want to bin it with a glory move. However, we've got side by side 2 or 3 abreast as they come off the turn. Michael Fisk is making the move on Craig, who shuts down to the back of the queue. Meanwhile, Greatrex has got a hassle from Clark up ahead. Fisk is now going to go down the inside of Comber to make the move. So there's going to be 2 overtaking moves in 1. Through goes Clark, through goes Fisk, and that just about made sense. That's how close it is as they come off the turn. Still battling away, still magnificent camaraderie and great racecraft between these guys as Fisk now goes for the inside of Comber. Craig is trying to tuck in on the inside of that lot as well. And it looks as though we got 2 more there joining the queue, and I think one of them is Simon Orange, the 67. The clue is in the name and the colour of the car. So as they come off the turn, down the back straight once again, lapping the traffic as well. That's going to make things interesting for these guys as they get out of the way. Somehow they all make it through without incident. Clark, Greatrex, Comber, Fisk and Craig. 5 of them in unison. It's going to be 6, potentially 7 in unison if this keeps going, because the battle just keeps intensifying every single lap. But Teddy Clark still hanging on in front of Greatrex. Comber's got Fisk for company. Fisk is going to go for him on the inside, is he? No, but up the inside comes Greatrex. Greatrex is going for the move on Teddy Clark. Clark shuts the door. Great racing once again, and there's beautiful battles everywhere you look. Fisk is going to hold off Craig, and at the same time he'll have to make the move to try and cover off Craig to the inside again. Meanwhile, Comber is battling with, that is Greatrex on the outside. I'm struggling to figure out which direction to look in. Now Fisk is going for the inside of Greatrex into Graham Hill Bend. He gets that move done. Craig is going to get the undercut as well. Can he sweep by on Greatrex? Terrific racing, absolutely amazing stuff, and that's Stephen Foden trying to get into the action in the 77 as well, and in there too the 67 of Simon Orange. Absolutely brilliant stuff. Orange on the inside of Foden, and he's through, so Simon Orange gets there in the 67. Oh, and he's sideways, careful Simon, what a save! Beautiful stuff there from Simon Orange. That could easily have gone into the barriers. Not with Simon Orange behind the wheel, it could not. Save of the century into Paddock Hill Bend once again. Still the 29, holding fast in the lead of it, in this little battle at least. Adam Craig trying to close up on Fisk while also defend from Greatrex. Comber's got Fisk to deal with himself, but now getting into the battle, we've got Foden and Orange in there as well. Back towards the front. This is the battle for second place because Will Blackwell-Chambers is slowly dropping these guys. Oliver Allwood now has a chance to go for Sam Smith in second position. Brian Trott is there if anything goes awry. Down the straight, Will Blackwell-Chambers, reigning champion, and in the lead here at Brands Hatch. But is this going to be Allwood's move? It looks as though this is the moment. He's going for it on the inside, takes the place. Thank you very much for the memories, buddy. This is my moment now. Oliver Allwood into second place, times it to perfection, keeps himself nicely to the inside. I have a feeling he's already given up on this victory. He drifts out wide, and that gives Sam Smith an opportunity to come through. This time they did rock doors, but that was all it was, and Allwood hangs on a second position. Smith there in third, fourth is Brian Trott. That's the other thing I love about Mazda MX-5 racing. No matter what kind of position you're in, you're always going to be in a battle, and even if there is a little bit of rubbing, it really is the Days of Thunder definition of the word. Rubbing is racing, and they really do give it absolutely as good as they get. We've heard all sorts of stories, some better than others, about Mazda MX-5 drivers. I'm sure that people have seen, you know, forever and a day, the rather cheeky and illegal manoeuvres down the Hangar Straight a few years ago of drivers pushing wing mirrors in as they were going past the pits. But it is a fun paddock, and drivers do push it absolutely to the limit. They play hard, they work hard, and they race hard. Up to Druids comes your champion and current race leader, Will Blackwell-Chambers, hoping his title defence continues as was. Second place, look how close it is. Allwood still trying to defend off from Sam Smith and Brian Trott, but this man out in front through Graham Hill Bend and down the straight towards Surtees once again, looking absolutely superior. Will Blackwell-Chambers, he loves to get things started his way. He loves to be in control of the race. He's not particularly keen on leading races. He likes to be at the front end of a fight, but he doesn't really feel as comfortable dominating. He'd rather be in the midst of the fight. Second position. This is an interesting one. These guys are in the midst of the fight. Oliver Allwood, Sam Smith, Brian Trott. Smith was on pole position for this one, don't forget, so he will feel he's got a right to get back towards the front end field pretty quickly. Allwood there in second place though, starting to stretch out a gap. Is Brian Trott going to get an opportunity to go for third here? Blackwell-Chambers leads, he's just lapped a slower car. That's William Hayden he's lapped. So by the look of things, I can see Will Hayden being at the front of the grid in Group B for the second race later in the weekend. But down the hill into Graham Hill Bend. This second place battle in Group A continues without ceasing. Allwood, Smith, Trott, all three of these guys with an equal chance of standing on the podium. Blackwell-Chambers up ahead, no major problems for him today. He's just controlled the pace of the race from the front. But these three continue to doggedly push each other into a mistake. If they can find an error, they're going to. But Blackwell-Chambers has got this race pretty much in control. All he has to do is just keep doing what he's doing. And here at Brands Hatch, the victory is surely going to come to him. Into the last lap he goes. And the reigning champion from 2017, Will Blackwell-Chambers, is looking to kickstart his season in earnest with an absolutely flawless drive. Out of Paddock Hill Bend, up towards Druids. Will there be one cheeky manoeuvre? I think there was a bit of a look there from Brian Trott to make the move on Sam Smith for third position. Not sure if that worked or not, but they are going through traffic as well, so they've got to time that one to perfection. Blackwell-Chambers, though, the man has got himself into the best possible position, winning his first race of the season with plenty of gusto. No change in the second place battle, by the way. Smith is still third behind Allwood and ahead of Brian Trott. But out of the final turn, Will Blackwell Chambers is going to make this race his own, as he has done so many times in the Mazda MX-5 Championship paddock. Power down, over the line, victory for Will Blackwell Chambers yet again. He bounces back in 2018 with a flawless victory. Magnificent. Second for Allwood, third for Sam Smith, fourth for Brian Trott in what has been a sensational race up at the front. Great racing, and Will Blackwell Chambers hanging on there. Martin Tolley rounds out the top 5. No problems at all for him there. But what a sensational drive from Will Blackwell Chambers, getting his title defence up to the best possible getaway. It's a country age before the 6th place battle comes across the line, but that's how close it was. Even if the top 5 got away, we still had great racing to the line in a couple of cases. Great stuff from Blackwell Chambers. He takes the win from Sam Smith, from Oliver Allwood, sorry, in second, then Sam Smith, Brian Trott, Martin Tolley in 5th, then Charlie Birch, John Langridge, Stuart Simmons, Teddy Clark and Mike Coomber. Fastest lap, who else? Will Blackwell Chambers. Craig, Greatrex, Foden, Origin, Fisher very closely matched at the flag. Fisk in there as well from Cannon, Courtney Milnes, Oliver Robinson and Marcus Bailey. And then our final finishers of the race, William Hayden, Clive Powles and Bill Taylor, with Paul Bateman the only retirement after his off at Clark. It's a winning start though for Will Blackwell Chambers.
Congratulations, Will. First win of the season. Couldn't have gone any better.
No, it's absolutely fantastic race. Nice to sort of see all the hard work my dad did over the winter paid off. The car's absolutely rapid. We haven't done any winter testing, so to come back out on top at the first round is extraordinary.
Yeah, they didn't make it easy for you around you, did they?
No, it was a very hard race for the first half. I was fighting tooth and nail for everything I could get, but then we luckily managed to make a bit of a gap, and then other than a slight mess up by myself where I decided 5th gear was the way forward. Good race, it was really nice.
What have you done throughout the winter? You mentioned your dad had done some tweaks to the car.
We changed the master cylinder on the brakes and changed the brake calipers.
It stops now.
Yeah, there's nothing. The engine hasn't even been out, no refresh, so we're exactly as we were at the end of last year. So hopefully keep going well.
Yeah. Another race today, so it could be another win.
I'd like to think so.
Good luck.
Cheers.
Thank you. Ollie, second place, first race of the season, you've got to be happy.
Yeah, happy. Good start to the season. I'd like to have beat Will, always like to beat Will. But yeah, I mean, we started from 5th, didn't do the best in qualifying. Made a couple of spots up along the way, so yeah, I'm pretty happy. Hopefully we can capitalise on that, do same again, and try and go one further in race 2.
We're going to see this throughout the season, the competition with you and Will.
Yeah,
and also Sam as well.
It's on. It's on. It should be a good year. I mean, we battled hard last year, all 3 of us actually, and I think it'll be the same contenders. And there's a couple of other quick boys who sort of join in as well. I think Brian Trott will be pretty quick. Mike Coomber, I think he'll be fast as well. So we could be looking at sort of a 5-way battle at some point. So yeah, it should be good.
Yeah, we can't wait to see that. For now, go and enjoy it.
Cheers. Thanks a lot.
Cheers. Well, Sam, you started on pole. Finished 3rd. It's still not a bad result, but you want that win.
I did want the win, but I'm really happy with 3rd. The conditions were drying earlier. I was in the right place at the right time. Got good track position in qualifying, which gave me pole position. So couldn't be happier. Start the year off with a podium. Got some work to do though. Got some time to find for the next race if I can.
I was going to say, what more tweaks are you going to do to the car before the next race?
Well, yesterday we changed tyres and went a lot quicker, and I was on the slower tyres then because they were more wets than dry. So I'm hoping put the other tyres back on and myself drive a bit better. I'll be up there a bit more to challenge Will. So
good luck.
Thank you very much. I need it. Thank you.